What's up, guys? Welcome to SQL Basics Part 1. In this video, I'll be covering the basics of structured query language. There will be a Part 2, 3, and 4, however many parts I need to satisfy my requirement of giving you guys the entire spiel. So, in this, you're going to see basic statements. You're going to see, like, where statements. You're going to see and statements. You're going to see in-between statements. You're going to see how to perform basic queries. So let's get started, and it's time to learn how to write your very first commands in SQL or SQL or structured query language, however you want to say it. So as you can see, we now have our SQL Lite terminal open, and we just opened up the file heroes.db, which contains our superhero tier list table that we will be doing queries on for this tutorial. So let's go ahead and let's select the entire table to see what contents are inside. Let's see how many fields it has and how many records it has. So select all from superhero underscore tier list, and then we're going to close that out with a semicolon. So we do that, we should get the entire table. So as you can see, we have this table has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. It's synonymous with fields, so those terms are used interchangeably when it comes to structured query language. So it has 6 columns, and then it has 1, 2, 3. It has 10 records. So we got 6 columns and 10 records. Yeah. So the rows are the records, and the columns are the fields. Sometimes you'll hear me refer to columns or columns as fields, and sometimes you'll hear me refer to records as rows or just simply records. It just depends how I'm feeling in the moment. But let's go ahead and now let's do a little bit of a difficult query here. Give me 1 second. So what we want to do now is we want to query all the records, or we want to query the names of all the heroes that have the specialty strength. So for instance, looking at our table here, we can obviously see that Superman and Hulk are the only ones that have that specialty strength, because remember, the last column in our table here is the specialty column, and those two heroes are the only ones that have the strength as the string for that specific column. So what we want to do is we're going to generate a query that basically returns the name of the heroes that share that specialty name, and it's also going to return the specialty name itself. So for instance, let me show you how this works. We're going to do select, then we're going to do select, we're going to do name, then we're going to do comma, name, comma, specialty from superhero underscore tier list, where specialty equals strength. And we want to make sure we spell it correctly. So let's make sure it's the syntax is correct. So select name, comma, specialty, that's spelled correctly, from superhero underscore tier list, where specialty equals strength. Looks good. So we'll hit enter. And I just forgot to okay. I forgot to put the semicolon to close it out. So now it's gonna, there we go. So as you can see here, the only heroes in our list here in our table that have the specialty set to strength is Superman and Hulk, and that's exactly the 2 records that it returned. The only 2 records that have that specific specialty, which is strength. So there you go. Let's say now we want to select all of the heroes from our table that are part of the Marvel Universe and that have their universe column set to the string Marvel. So here's how we would do that. We're going to select, and let's just say we don't want to just select the name and the universe of those Marvel characters that are returned to us. Let's say we also want to get their specialty as well. So we can get all three of those columns with this query that I'm going to show you guys here. So we're going to use select, and then we wanted to get the name. We wanted to get the universe, and we wanted to get the specialty. So, and then we're going to use a where statement. Oh, wait, we want to obviously say that's from superhero underscore tier list. And then we're going to use the where command. And we're not going to, obviously, and like before, we're not going to use the semicolon at the end of tier list because we're in, the entire query has not been written out yet. So, let's see, where universe equals, and then in quotation marks, we're going to put Marvel in there, right? Because Marvel. And then we're going to use that. Okay. So let's go over the query just to make sure that it's correct. So we have select name. Remember, we want the name of the heroes returned to us. And we also want the universe name returned to us. And we want the specialty returned to us. So in total, we're only going to get 3 columns returned to us, or 3 fields. Remember, I said they're synonymous in SQL. So, and obviously we're referencing where you want to get it from, and that's this table called the superhero underscore tier list. And we're using a where command to specify where exactly we're getting these records from, and it's where universe equals Marvel. So that's a condition. And when we hit enter, it should return. Oh, there we go. I spelled universe incorrectly, folks. Okay, now when we hit enter, it's going to return those 3 columns. There we go. We have Spider-Man. We have the name field. We have the universe field, and we have the specialty field, and we have those 3 fields for all of the characters that are returned back to us that are part of the Marvel universe. So there you go. Let's talk about in between statements, shall we? In between statements. So let's see here. So let's get the entire table pulled up first before we dive into this, just to get a clear picture of what I'm going to be explaining to you guys. So we'll do the select, and then we'll do the asterisk for all. Oops, that's an 8, not an asterisk. So, and I spelled select wrong. Asterisk from superhero underscore tier list. Close it out with a semicolon. Okay, so hit enter, and there we go. So what we want to do is we're going to basically, what would be good for an in-between statement? Where power level between 80 and 90. Let's do that. So we're gonna select we're gonna select the name, the power level, and the name, the power level, and the universe for all the heroes that have a power level between 80 and 90. So that means we should get Aquaman, Batman, Iron Man, and anyone that has a power level between 80 and 90. So let's get to it. So I just ran the command, and as you can see here, we got all of the characters whose power levels are in between 80 and 90. But what if we want to use a not in between statement? Like, let's say we want to get everyone whose power levels are not in between 80 and 90, which means it's going to give us all the other characters in our table here that were not listed in this query that I just performed. Because that would, obviously, if it's not in between 80 and 90, then all of the ones that did not show up here in this in the output of this query will show up in the next query that we're going to perform. So let's go ahead and perform that, shall we? So we're going to do select, oops, we're going to type select name power underscore level, and then we're also going to select the universe, and then from superhero underscore tier list, where power underscore level not between 80 and 90, and we're going to close it out with a semicolon. So let's see, select name. We want to make sure that the syntax is correct. Power level universe, right? That looks like it's spelled correctly. From superhero tier list, where power underscore level not between 80 and 90. So we're going to hit enter, and there we go. All the heroes that did not show up in the first output are showing up in the next output. And we selected these 3 columns or fields to output the name, the power level, and the universe, and it did just that. So that's good. So let's say we want to select the name. Okay, so let's see. We want to select the name and the power level of our characters. But what if we want to order it, in numerical order from least to greatest instead of the way that it appears here, which is definitely out of order. So what if we want to do that? So to do that, we would use the order by command, and I'm going to show you an example of how that would work. So first, what you want to do is you want to use the select command. Obviously, we always use the select command when we're trying to return output when we're querying the database. So select name, and we're going to select power level. Okay, select name, comma, power level from, obviously from superhero underscore tier list. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the order by command. So we're gonna say order by power level, and it's going to be in ascending order because it's going to be from least to greatest. It's not from greatest to least. That would be descending order. So we're going to use ASC. Okay, and then we're going to close it out with that semicolon. We're going to hit enter, and there you have it, folks. It printed us out all of the names of all the characters, and it printed it ordered it by power level in ascending order. Because if you look at it, the power levels only go higher as we go down our list of records here. So we have 80, 82, 85, 88 for Spider-Man, 90 for Flash, 95, 95, 96, 97, 98. So there we go. We can also use the order by command to order literally anything. We can use it to order it in descending order as well. So I can show you an example right here, right now. So we can also order things in descending order as well. As you can see here, we order things in ascending order because it's going from least to greatest. But we can also order things from greatest to least. But let's say we want to order it by the name this time and not the number. So if we order it from greatest to least, which is descending order, it's going to order it in reverse alphabetical order. So let's take a look at that, shall we? It's going to order our output by the name in reverse alphabetical order. So let's check that out. So we have select, oops, select name, comma, power underscore level, name, comma, underscore power from superhero underscore tier list, order by name, DESC. Okay, so select name power level from superhero tier list, order by name in descending order. So when we hit enter here, it should give us exactly that. There we go. We got Wonder Woman at the top, and it's going, as you can see, the alpha. It's going in reverse alphabetical order, which gives us Aquaman at as our last entry here. And that's how you order things in descending order. Okay, so now let's say I'm going to show you guys how to use the limit and the offset command. So when we use the limit command, we basically limit the amount of records that it provides us as an output after we submit the query. Um, so let's say that we're supposed to, with the query, let's say we're doing a query and it's supposed to output like 8 records, but because we use the limit record to 3, it's only gonna output the first 3 records. But if we use the offset command, that will basically tell us, okay, how many do we want to skip and how many do we want to like limit, how many do we want to skip? Like let's say if we say offset 2, it's going to skip the first 2 and it's going to output the next 3 after the first 2 have been skipped. And keep in mind it's still only going to output 3 because we limited it to 3. So I'm going to give you guys an example here. Let's we should probably use power level again, huh? Yeah, we'll do that. So select name, comma, power underscore level, where, oops, name, comma, level, and then what we want to do is we want to limit let's limit it by 4. Let's limit it by 4, so it's only going to give us 4 records. But what it's going to do is it's going to offset. We have 10 records total, right? So if we limit it to 4, it's going to output 6. So if we limit it by 4, no, if we limit it to 4, it's going to output 4. I'm sorry, it's going to output 4, but if we offset it, we're going to offset it by 4, offset 4, and then it's going to basically skip the first 4 records, and it's going to jump right to the 5th record, and it's going to print 4 starting with the 5th record. So we use the offset command if we don't want to start at the 1st record, if we want to start at the 2nd, the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, etc. So we want to start at the 5th record, so we're going to offset 4. So select name, comma, power level, limit 4, offset 4, and then we're going to close it out with a semicolon, and we hit enter. Oh, I forgot to reference the table. Sorry. I am a fool. Select name, comma, power level. And then we're going to, from superhero underscore tier list, limit for offset for, close it. What is going on here? Oh, I forgot to use the select command. Holy crap. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? We're going to do this the easy way. It's going to go here. Going to say select. Okay, now when I hit enter, it should output what we have been looking for this entire freaking time. So let's go ahead and hit enter. There we go. So as you can see, it limited to only 4 records. We have Aquaman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange, and it offset it by 4. Because if we go to the table up here, and as you can see, it shows that the first record is Superman, the second record is Batman, the third record is Wonder Woman, the fourth record is Flash. So these 4 have been removed from our output, and we started with the 5th record because we offset it by 4, meaning we excluded the first 4 records when we typed our query, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4 because we also limited to 4 records only. So yeah, we can do cool things with it, right? Like we can actually like, I'm gonna pull it up again. We can actually like order it. You can order it by order by um name, and then we order it by name. We can do it in descending order, so DESC, and then so order it by name, and then what it's going to do is it's going to put our list in descending order alphabetically, and then it's going to limit the first 4, and then it's going to offset 4. So we're going to get a different output than what we just received here. So we hit enter. There we go. So we got Iron Man, Hulk, Flash, Doctor Strange. Because when we put it, so there you go, folks.